Hello and welcome to Chapter 3 of Bookish Babes After Dark. Today's episode we are speaking about Priest by Sierra Simone. Now, if for whatever reason you are not a fan of this book, then don't worry, you don't have to watch. But please take a look at Chapter 1 and 2, as they were absolutely amazing if we do say so ourselves. And make sure that you subscribe so that you can view our future podcast.
Yes,
episodes.
definitely.
Mm-hmm. You can find us on Spotify, YouTube, and all of socials as well.
Instagram, TikTok, Facebook. We are everywhere.
Yeah. And your support is very much appreciated. So, with that being said, let's get into the book.
Yes.
So, like I said, today's episode or chapter is Priest by Sierra Simone. So, we do have a couple of trigger warnings, not as extensive as our previous books.
No.
But we have systematic sex abuse and death by suicide. But it's also worth noting that there is a lot of mention of religion and Catholicism. So if that's a subject that you're not comfortable with, maybe this isn't the book for you. But I have to say, she's written it very well.
Yeah.
So it's not overbearing.
No.
If you're not religious. Okay, so the blurb. There are many rules a priest can't break. A priest cannot marry. A priest cannot abandon his flock. A priest cannot forsake his God. I've always been good at following rules, until she came. Then I learned new rules. My name is Tyler Anselm Bell. I'm 29 years old. 6 months ago, I broke my vow of celibacy on the altar of my own church, and God help me, I would do it again. I'm a priest, and this is my confession. The blurb gets me every time.
Yeah.
It's so good. So,
Just delish.
as always, we shall start with our rating and overall thoughts on the book.
You can go first.
Yeah, I always forget. So
So we don't leave you out. You can go first this time.
So I went for 4-star
Right.
because I absolutely fucking loved it. I just thought that from the start, it was like, we're in.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. There's no messing about. Like, she doesn't just, kind of
There's no teasing.
teasing, and then like halfway through the book they finally,
Touch fingers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
They look at each other. She made eye contact with me.
they desecrate that altar from the beginning.
Oh, it's great.
It is fantastic. It's like fast paced, but there's also enough plot and background.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't feel like it was just straight up dick all the way through.
No. Like there was reasons for everything. And
Yeah.
like
These characters actually had a personality.
yeah.
They
were
weren't
actual
just
characters.
They weren't just dicks and vaginas.
Yeah. We're not against that.
No.
They were characters with very active dicks and vaginas.
Yes.
But yeah, and I just also absolutely adore the book.
Yeah.
The cover.
That is a pretty front cover.
Yeah, the discreet covers, I'd say, are probably one of my favourites.
Yes.
They're so pretty.
Love that.
So pretty. So yeah, in a very short overall thing, I enjoyed it a lot. The reason it's not 5 stars for me was the ending.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was like, considering it's not a slow book, like it is quite fast paced anyway.
The ending felt
was
too
like
fast.
rush. Yeah, it was like
Yeah. Here,
There's the
have
end.
all this detail.
Yeah. And also I'm like, Tyler, you just like
Tyler.
he went back to her way too quick. But
Yeah.
anyway,
That's his problem.
we'll
Not mine.
discuss that later on, I'm sure.
Gotcha.
So yeah, Ellie, what about you?
I was also a 4-star
Mm-hmm.
for Priest. I really liked it. I enjoyed my read. I just feel like there could have been a little bit more. Because I've read the second one, I now know what Sierra Simone can write. And she can write some very
She's got
things.
more in her back pocket. I know she has.
And she does. And I just feel like the characters of Tyler and Poppy, I loved both of them.
Mm-hmm.
I just feel like, again, the ending was just,
Very rough.
let's Tyler's looking a really nice bow. And
Yeah. They're together
that'll be
now.
done with it. Yeah.
You can go now.
Yeah. I feel like the ending could have, it's not a long book either.
No.
Like
No.
it's only 300 pages, so you could either have made it like 325 pages
Yeah.
and just extended it out, or you could have taken away something else a little and just made that ending just a little bit more.
Like, I just wanted to know a little bit more, like with Poppy starting her own, getting sort of somewhat to the end,
Yeah.
starting her own, like, you know, dance school type of thing, and
Yeah.
what happened with that. I feel like there could have been some sort of explanation.
We were left on a
and then
cliffhanger without a cliffhanger.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and there were huge gaps in time
Yeah.
Yeah.
where you didn't get anything about the angst that they'd gone through, really, or like
No.
you know how their life had been when they'd been separate. And I thought that could
Yeah,
have been in
it was
there.
very much just like breezed over.
Yeah.
You knew that they were both having a shit time, but that's all you could take from it.
Yeah,
Where was the shit?
yeah.
Like, we just knew that Tyler was basically
Crying.
living with his brother and eating takeout. Like, that was his life.
Yeah.
And I'm like, bro, get yourself
Yeah.
together.
And then he was a
do
little bitch and
better.
ran straight back.
Literally.
Yeah.
I still like him, but he was still a little bitch.
Yeah.
So,
I gave it a 4.
you're a 4 as
Yeah,
well.
and it is purely the ending.
Yeah.
Like I said this in the group chat, when I got like 90% in, I was like, you know, it's great. They're together. The spice is spicing. She fucks off, and he's like,
And then it just ends.
yeah. He finds her in a church, and he's like, yes, bless my soul that you're back.
Yeah.
It's just the fact that she just straight up leaves.
She stopped.
Like,
Yeah.
she just...
I wanted a spicy ass argument. I wanted him to be like, where the fuck are you going with whatever?
You know
faces?
what I wanted? I wanted like a hate fucking scene.
Yes.
I wanted that sort of like, you don't dare leave
Yeah.
me.
Yeah.
I am the reason that
Yeah.
you are now
Sort of
happy.
Especially because he has dominant tendencies.
Oh yeah. Oh, too right. He does.
That, like, he could have been like, who the fuck are you to have kissed him?
Yeah.
Like, you're mine.
Yeah.
Like, doof, doof, doof.
Stop
That's what I
being
wanted.
A little bitch
Yeah.
and give it to her.
Instead,
Whereas he did a full on switch at the end. And
Yeah.
puppy.
Come back.
Puppy.
Don't leave. I will grant
It
you
just
my
gives
oath.
me the biggest ick.
Yeah.
mm,
I was like, stop being a little fanny.
Little bitch.
Yeah.
just-
Just dick her like she deserves.
Yeah.
yeah.
'Cause that's what she wants.
Yeah.
All the way through. And he's like, oh, I'm too scared.
Yeah.
No, you're
You
not.
can't. It's not allowed. I'm
It
like,
fucking is,
It's
mate.
forbidden. I'm sorry, my dude. You fucked her on an altar.
You
Like,
can't get more.
Yeah.
you can't go back from
well,
that.
yeah, once you've done it, you kind of can't take it
Yeah.
back.
Jesus has already left the building at
And
this point.
if according to your God you can do something and then be forgiven, then surely you can just keep doing it
And just be forgiven every time. I did the dicking. I'm so sorry.
Maybe
Let's
that's not
go
the
at
premise
it.
that
I
they're
know.
trying to teach.
We've
Who
got the
knows?
church all wrong.
Probably. Most likely. There's a reason we're going to hell.
That's it. They don't put that in the Bible.
Okay, so I think we need to give like a bit of context as to some of the plot before we dive in.
Yeah.
So obviously at the start of the book, you've got Father Tyler Bell.
Yes.
There is a little bit of background as to why he became a priest. So his sister committed suicide
Yeah.
because she was abused by their old priest.
Yeah.
So Tyler decided that he wanted to change the way that the system worked. From
He
within.
wanted faith in him off other
Yeah.
people that the same wouldn't happen to
Yeah.
anybody else.
Yeah,
under
and he
his
wanted
sort
to-
of care.
He wanted to build up that
Yeah.
trust again with the parishioners. Is that what they
Yes.
call it?
Parish.
The
Yeah, the people in the parish.
The church
Um,
people.
Yeah, the church people.
Churchgoers.
Yeah, afterwards, because she wasn't the only one to be abused.
No.
From
No.
the sounds of it, there was lots of people. So he wanted to build up that trust again, and just fix the
Yeah.
church really.
Yeah.
So that's what happened. And then one day when he was doing his confession, yeah, Poppy walks in and completely
Ruins him.
Blows it out of the water.
from like the second that she speaks, he is obsessed with
He's
her
in love with
Oh
her.
yeah, he's infatuated.
straight away.
Without a doubt.
Yeah, like 100%,
Like-
straight in.
Doesn't even know what she looks
Yeah.
like.
No,
Just
gives-
knows
yeah,
that he sounds.
It gives
she
off the
sounds-
vibe that I couldn't give a shit what she looks like. She sounds great.
Yeah.
And I'm going to have it.
Yeah.
But I can't.
Yeah.
But I will.
but I will. But I'm gonna
But I
feel bad
can't.
about it.
But I'm going to
I
do it
can't.
anyway.
Yeah.
Never mind.
And then Poppy is somebody who came from. Did she come from rich parents?
Yeah, she comes
Yeah.
from like a very
A rich
privileged.
family,
Yeah.
and
They wanted
she,
this like whole structured life for her.
They basically
Yeah.
sold her off.
yeah. So she was working for a strip club,
Mm.
and she came in and was giving confession and spoke about the fact that she'd done some things that maybe, you know, weren't necessarily acceptable.
Yeah.
And she needed to confess, and she wanted to look into, you know, her faith and
Yeah.
etc. etc.
While
And
he's getting all hot and bothered under
Yeah,
his collar.
I feel like she sort of ran to faith because she felt like she'd done something sinful,
Yeah.
but she also was happy with the fact
Oh,
that
yeah.
she'd done something sinful.
There was no shame to her.
No.
There was no like.
Mm.
She just come in and was like, "Yeah, I did all this, this, and this. I really enjoyed it, but I kind of need some decent structure in my life."
Yeah, basically, she wanted free therapy.
Yes.
That's why I feel like she went to the church.
Well, this kind of leads into my next question, which is, I think that this whole aspect of this book is purposeful from Sierra, because
Mm.
a lot of the time sex is seen as a very
sinful
taboo,
thing.
sinful
Yeah.
thing. So do you think that that's what the depiction was, and that actually she was happy doing it because it made her feel good?
Yeah.
Tyler used to obviously do a lot of dominant things. 'cause
I
he
want to
needs
know where
that.
that came from.
Exactly. And so they both were very happy.
Yeah.
And then there's this whole element of faith and
Yeah.
how it's, you know, it's not allowed from Tyler's perspective, and how she's got this, you know, societal thing of, you know, she works in a strip club. It's very, you know, looked down on or whatever. Do you think that's purposeful? Do you think she's trying to send a message that says, it's
That's
okay,
the vibe I got.
it's okay
Yeah.
to want these
And
things?
Poppy tries to put it on him of like, it's fine to be like this, and it's fine to enjoy the things that we want to enjoy, and
As
we
long
know-
as it's like, but the whole thing through it is like, this is consensual.
Yeah. Because he's still got this rape from his sister that's very much just like,
In the
I'm
back of his
crossing
mind.
all lines here.
Yeah.
Like, if he took the collar off, he'd
He's just Tyler.
he'd have no qualms about it. Put it back on, and he's got these whole rules and regulations where he's like, this isn't right,
Mhm.
and I'm essentially ruining you. Whereas Poppy's like, let me know.
Yeah.
Keep the collar on.
I think
Yes!
that was a particularly good part of the book. But then, sort of, as it comes towards the end of the book, Tyler has this, obviously, Poppy doesn't realise that he's going through this inner monologue of, you know, I'm not happy with this, I want Poppy, she's my person.
Yeah.
And he makes the decision that regardless of her, he doesn't want to be a priest anymore.
Yeah.
He wants to find another way of doing.
Of helping other people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so he comes round to his own realisation that actually I'm forcing myself to do something that doesn't make me happy, and actually being happy is the most
Is
important
what he
thing.
wants, yeah.
I thought that was
And I'm
really,
fucking proud of him for that.
that was really
Yeah.
nice.
I just feel like sort of when it came to him sort of deciding to leave, the fact that he just sort of left it up to fate, but it was also, he was waiting for a calling from his God. And I was like, how are you going to do that?
You could be waiting a long time.
Because he doesn't seem to want to talk to you yet.
God's busy at the moment.
New number, who dis? And then it was just sort of like, everything sort of fell into place with the fact that like the pictures came out and he was like, right, okay, I'm done being a priest.
Yeah.
I need to leave, but I still want to help people.
Yeah.
And I kind of like as much as I hate the fact that Poppy did like a disappearance.
She did a full 180 on him.
I like the fact that Tyler went to go and help people in foreign countries because he still
He
wanted
didn't
to
run
help.
from it. He didn't run to her there and then.
No.
There was a nice bit of build up where he thought, she's made her mind up.
Yeah.
I have to do something for myself.
Yeah.
Considering his whole life has been for everybody else.
Yeah.
Mm.
And he's
And I like that because he didn't just carry. It shows that he didn't decide to leave the church because of her.
Yeah.
He did it for himself.
Yeah.
And I think that's a really important message as well, is that you should never do something for somebody else. You should always do it for
Yeah.
yourself.
Yeah.
Somebody should always add to what you want,
Yeah.
not
Yeah.
be the reason for.
Yeah. But I still feel like he was whipped.
100%.
He was. He
Foot
was.
push.
He was.
Like,
Like,
That
you
woman had him
cannot-
on a
you
fucking
cannot-
leash and collar.
yeah.
which is really interesting considering that, like, he was so dominant for so long.
That nightclub scene. Chef's kiss.
Yeah.
Well, that leads us nice on to the next question.
Let's roll it in.
What's your favourite scene? You've got to pick one.
Oh, shit.
And just to add an extra bit of in, we're going to go down the line.
Can we not pick the same?
We can't pick the same.
Fuck!
Shit!
Fuck!
I'm
Bastard.
gonna start us off.
No.
So you two-
Slip it in there. Slip it in there, and I have to be the shit one that takes it. Oh, he does.
I have to take it at the end.
Well, some people like that.
Oh! Go on, give it to us.
So I've found my scene, and weirdly, it's a strange one because it's not one where they actually were doing
together.
anything together. But I thought it was mad, so I really liked it. So it's when she's speaking to Tyler about, I think, is it the first or second time she's in
The confession
the
booth.
confession booth? I think maybe it's the second, because he'd already told her about his sister, so I think it's the second.
Yeah.
And she was speaking about her internal struggle with the fact that she obviously did her job at the strip club, and like that she had this strange, like, wild sense of needing
Yeah.
to be touched.
Yeah.
And so she says, I was so combustible, Father Bell. I would get wet watching the men stroking themselves through their custom-tailored trousers. In the private rooms, I'd pull my thong to the side and let them watch as I brought myself off. They liked that. They liked it when I teased myself and rubbed myself and rode my hand until I shuddered and sighed. And then she goes on to say, but it wasn't the same getting myself off. I wanted to be fucked and used. I wanted to be filled with someone's dick. I wanted to have fingers in my mouth and in my cunt, in my ass.
And I'm sure at this point he was
Nice.
like internally combusted.
Absolutely.
He literally, and then at the end of that, it goes, she took a breath, and then he goes, I, on the other hand, couldn't breathe.
I, on the other hand, my fucking zip was breaking.
And then she goes on to ask him, like, what that sin is called, and blah, blah, blah.
And he's just like, they're like, fuck.
Shit. It's not a sin. It's great. Continue.
Carry on.
So that was mine. And that's really early on in the book. Like,
It was.
38 pages in. Because the rest was really hot, but I just thought that, like, not many people talk about how they feel so, like, solo and, like,
Yeah.
just the filthy things
She
that
was
came
so
out of her
willing to
mouth.
just be like,
Yeah,
this
and
is
the
what I'm
fact that
into.
she was just, like, literally, other than the prologue where it literally said that he fucked her over the altar, that was the first bit of spice, and I couldn't believe how spicy it was
Yes.
coming out of her mouth. So I was just
she
like,
left.
yes.
No
crumbs.
So that was mine. What was yours, Ellie? Tell us.
So the whole of chapter 15.
Yes.
And like my one comment is, I love everything about this chapter. The raw passion, and Tyler just lets go. He
Finally.
completely lets go.
Damn time.
And like he said at this point, I stood over her and pulled my collar, trying to take it off. No, she said. Her pupils large and dark. Leave it on. My dick surged. Dirty girl. And I'm like, oh fuck! Oh fuck!
Oh, get me one of them.
And like this is the chapter with the oils, with the
Famous oils.
where he says it's sacramental oil. It's used for baptisms and ordinations. Ordinations. There we go. It's used to anoint the walls of a church when it's built. I ran a hand down the smooth, firm slope of her back, feeling her sigh against my touch, and at that moment, sliding a finger inside, she gasps. I'm anointing you now, I informed her. I'm sanctifying you from the inside out. You feel that?
Yes.
That's my finger fucking your ass. And in a minute, it'll be my cock.
Okay.
It will be my cock. Because he says he's like,
Having an exorcism.
like I need one. Because he said he goes, no, don't touch yourself, sweetheart.
Okay.
We're gonna get you there together. And I'm like, oh fuck! Because like I also did the audiobook alongside reading it.
I'd have never got anything read.
luckily he was saying it to me instead. He was saying it to me instead, so I had the Joyce was just being like, yeah, like that bit, like that bit, like that bit.
The best, not the best bit, but one of the funniest bits about that is when he goes, "You feel that?" Like I just keep going in my mind. I just think, "You feel me? You feel me?" And I go, "Yeah,
I do."
Yeah.
All the way into my inner sanctum wall.
right in the sanctum."
I just like the fact that, like, so yeah, sure, he's doing it in the book, but he's like so concerned about her because it's like at this point it's like I lifted her hips, guiding the rest around to all fours. Pause. I straightened my own body and kept rubbing her clit. Pause. I withdrew an inch and then pushed in an inch. Pause. Like he's constantly thinking about if she's okay and if she's enjoying it.
She's just getting aggravated as fuck.
And she's just like, more oil, all of it.
All the oils.
I want the whole bottle.
So George,
What was your favourite bit?
The nightclub.
I knew that was
Yeah.
coming.
Same.
It's the degradation for me. I mean, the only bit that I didn't.
I have one bit highlighted from
Yeah,
this bit.
the only
and I
bit
think-
that slightly just pissed me off is that he didn't actually pay for her.
Yeah, she paid for it.
She paid for herself.
She's a strong, independent woman. Can
She
pay for
is.
herself.
She's like, I brought my own dollar bill.
No,
But-
but really, like who in the entire universe of being a stripper has bought their own dollar bills?
Yeah, I have brought my own.
I think I
For you.
only highlighted one bit in that, and it was like, if I make you come, do you have to pay me?
Fucking yeah, bitch.
He's like, can I pimp myself?
Oh no,
out to
can I
you?"
sell myself to you?
Yes. Yes, you can.
But it's how, like, she sort of knew that he was a bit sort of like wound up tight and he knew it was forbidden to go, and she's like, I'm set you.
Yeah.
It don't fucking matter. And he literally says to her, he's like, I paid you to suck. You can either suck me on your own or I can make you do it. So unless you want that, you better open that pretty little mouth and do your fucking job. Yes, sir. That's what I am paid for.
Yes, father.
And then, hold please. And then she, what's it called? He takes the wallet and he throws the rest of the cash on the floor and he says, pick them up with your mouth. And she's obviously being a little brat and she's like, no. And he goes, no, I tugged on the leash just enough that she remembered it was there. I want to get what I paid for. Now pick them up. I'd be like, yes. Sticking them to his like,
I'd have my little purse out. I'm not wasting any of these.
just there in your bra.
Hard times.
I brought it though.
It's mine.
Refund.
3 to 4 business days. But yeah, he was just very like,
It was hot.
I feel like he switched from being Father Bell to just being
To
Tyler
Daddy
at
Bell.
that point.
Yeah. to the bell.
Daddy Bell.
Okay, so
The switch was real.
it really was. How did you feel about the elements of Catholicism throughout the book?
It was very heavy on it
Yeah.
all the way through.
But very well written,
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah.
And the struggles that come with being a priest. Obviously, a man's going to have this natural instinct to see a woman and be like, tap that. But he's got a little God in his ear going, no,
No.
get down.
Yeah,
Same boy.
I think even though it's called priest, I don't think you realise when you pick it up that the entire thing is literally religion from start to finish.
Yeah,
Yeah.
straight up.
And I think if you absolutely hate anything religious, you
It's
will
hard to
probably-
read.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I think if you see past that and kind of like the themes through it and also the very
It is one ass
filthy-
kinky book.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's really good.
I enjoyed it.
Once you've done it.
I rinsed through it
Yeah.
Yeah.
because
Well,
it was an easy read. It were. I
Yeah,
didn't
it
feel
was.
like I was struggling to read it.
Yeah, I thought that as well. So that brings us to the last question and the most important question of all. You can both answer together.
Oh,
Go on.
Would you or would you not like to get railed by Priest Bell on his altar.
Yes.
And that concludes.
There wasn't even a pause for thought.
I didn't even need to second guess that.
Highly recommend them. There are 2 more books in the series, and as Ellie alluded to earlier, they get better.
Yeah,
So read
second
them.
one is fucking filthy.
Read them.
Nice.
And also, we've got another.
Mine's not as much of a flop.
You what a game told.
Yeah,
I know.
we've got a 10 out of 10 going on here, and considering it's by a
I've got like a 4.
published,
A 5
Yeah,
at most.
like 4.
Maybe it needs to be abused more.
not good enough.
Maybe.
Get to fuck.
Okay, so
Oh
next,
God.
as always, we have our Unhinged book of the week.
Right.
And this week, I had the delight of reading the book. So
She's
we
ready.
have Mating with Mallows, an erotic sentient candy romance by Nora Noodle.
More sweets.
All about the sweets. So, the blurb for you. Cecilia Reynolds has hated sweets ever since she was a child, particularly those of the pastel Easter candy variety. This earns her teasing from her friends and colleagues due to the passionate nature of her vehemence. I don't even know if that's how you say it. That's hard to say.
Sounds about right.
But can one chance encounter with a sentient marshmallow... Whoa, no, wait. Bear with.
Rewind.
Skipped a bit.
But can one chance encounter with sentient marshmallow rabbit hunks, that was a mouthful, change her mind about this aversion forever? Yes. Yes, it can.
Right.
Okay.
So, we start off the book. Like it says, she fucking hates marshmallows.
That's
Why?
fair enough.
Turns out that she hates marshmallows because one time when she went to the sweet cupboard, we'll call it that. She
Right,
went to
yeah.
the sweet cupboard, she was stealing marshmallows, and all of a sudden she hears her mum screaming.
Oh.
You never learn why her mum was screaming. Her
Oh.
mum's still alive, so we assume it wasn't too bad.
She must have just
Yeah.
fell down the stairs or something then.
Maybe. But she really fucking hates marshmallows. So here's a little snippet from the beginning. As they stared at me with their beady little eyes from their shrink-wrapped packaging, which barely contained their edible neon glitter bomb bodies, I could feel their evil presence. I could taste the sickly sweet cream within, which no hot chocolate could disguise. She really fucking hates these marshmallows.
She's gonna die on this hill for these marshmallows.
So she's at work,
Right.
and her colleagues are eating marshmallows, and they're like, "Oh, come on, just eat some marshmallows." And she's like, "No, I'm not eating any marshmallows." And they're throwing her at them, and them at her even. And they're like, "Oh, if you put them in the microwave, they're a bit better." And she's like, "Oh, okay." And then like they've got into her head, and she's like, "Maybe I should try them like one more
Right.
time."
So
So-
it sounds a little bit like a toxic workplace if they're like throwing
Yeah.
I mean, definitely.
Have a mallow, you dumb bitch.
So after work, she decides she's going to go and get this bag of marshmallows.
Right.
Right.
So she says, I had just blindly grabbed a packet of marshmallows, ripped it open, and was creeping back down from my perch with one in my mouth. Oh no, I lie. This is the bit about the mum. I was creeping back down from my perch with one in my mouth when I heard it, a wail ripping out of my mother, which turned what had once been a highly coveted treat to ash in my mouth. Nothing has tasted the same since. The drama, honestly.
I want to know what happened with her mum.
I know,
Same.
that's literally the only snippet of her mum in the book. So, right, going back to where I thought we were at. She's in the shop getting
Right.
these marshmallows. I hesitantly reached for a variety pack of bunnies. 4 vibrant, differently coloured little creatures stared back at me with malice in their souls. I hid the package beneath my frozen lasagna to gain some reprieve, checked out and drove home, the weight of the marshmallows in my bag dragging me down to hell.
A bag's this heavy.
She really hates them.
I just imagine like Peeps. You know the little ducks?
Yeah.
But like they do the bunny versions.
They're all looking at her in the packet. You better fucking eat me, you bitch.
So then, she then picks one marshmallow out of the pack, one of these little bunnies,
Right.
and she's about to go and put it on the plate and put it in the microwave. She says, as I was about to put it in the microwave, though, I gave pause. Oh, perhaps it needed a friend. 2 was a good number, bonded in pairs, half of the package. If things went incredibly wrong, I would still have a fallback. And if I was truly revolted by them, I didn't have to eat both. The electric blue mallow quickly...
Where did it go?
Where did it go? I don't know. That's the rest of my highlight.
Oh,
So
fuck it.
Oh, okay.
we'll leave it on a bit of a cliffhanger. But then,
It down on the plate. It went.
yeah, it went on the plate basically, and then she put them in the microwave and turned it on.
Right.
Went for a little bit.
Right.
Then all of a sudden,
Insert explosion.
yeah, and the microwave just completely explodes everywhere, and she's like, "Ah."
She needs a new microwave.
You'd be that pissed off, wouldn't you?
I'd be
Yeah.
fuming.
And then she looks up, and there, in the middle of my kitchen, so 2 hulking marshmallows. No, to call them marshmallows would be an understatement. These hunks were anything but mere mallows, standing at least 6 foot tall, not including the ears, dripping with muscles coated in a fine dusting of neon sugar. Were 2 incredibly sexy marshmallow bunny men.
Rabbits. What?
Okay.
Yep.
So they exploded out of the microwave.
Yeah.
And now there's just...
How do they get out the microwave?
How are they, like... Not... Because marshmallows are, like... You, like, squish it.
Yeah.
And they can't really stand up on their own. How are they standing if they're, like, 6 foot?
But how's she going to have sex with them if they're a squidger?
Well,
Alright.
Hold on.
Cool.
so these 2 marshmallow men were
Right.
like
Right.
very, you know, all big personalities and blah 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 blah.
And
blah.
big everywhere else.
Yeah. So for some reason, I highlighted very chaotically in this book.
Oh.
I'm just gonna put that out there. I highlighted half
You were on a
sentences and
journey with
everything.
it.
I don't know where I was, but it said, "Please," I gasped between hitched breaths, and the Mallows seemed to know exactly what to do. A choreographed dance of the sugar plum dicks.
Fuck off! Just a load of fucking. Have they got tutus on?
I hope so. Matching the colour of the bunny.
Yeah.
The corresponding ones for each one.
Oh yeah, yeah. So, and then they start the old, you know, getting it on.
Of course, I'd expect nothing less.
And so, even as blues, because they're just named by the
Oh.
colour, candy cock flooded my mouth. I
Candy
felt
cock!
pig. Yeah. I felt pig.
Pig.
In the bunnies. I felt pink nudge at my entrance. A slick, gooey coating, helping to ease it in until it filled me to the hilt. It didn't stop me from gasping, crying out around the enormous confectionery cock in my mouth, long enough to cut off my oxygen if I wasn't careful.
That's like them cock rocks you get from Blackpool. On a stick.
Literally. And then we've got here, to say I licked him like a lollipop seemed inappropriate in this context because he was so much more.
What?
Yeah, it's a fucking marshmallow.
Yeah.
Wouldn't he melt if it got hot?
Well, this is the thing, because it literally says that as Pink nudges at her entrance, a slick, gooey coating helped to ease it in. So that's obviously
He's
the
definitely
marshmallow.
melted.
got wet.
Like melting.
It's about to disintegrate inside her.
Yeah,
And then again, she gets thrush.
yeah.
What is with all these women?
I hope they've got a stock of Caniston duo.
They've got
Me
they
too.
must have.
Yeah. So then they have this great time, and then she's like, "Oh, I love them." They
Oh.
even get into bed with her.
No, you'd have sticky
Fucking
sheets.
sticky that
Yeah.
is.
And then she's like, "I saw the error of my ways.
Right.
One bad experience in my past didn't have to taint my future. I could be more than the sum of other people's mistakes. I could grow and learn and start anew."
I'd be more fuming that I already hated marshmallows to start with. And then these 2 fuckers blew my microwave up.
Yeah. And now you've got 2 roommates that can't go out, can't get a job, and they just leave sticky shit everywhere. And they'll eventually disintegrate. And then because they fucked the microwave, she can't put the other 2 in.
She can't put the other ones in.
Yeah.
So she'll like put them in a pan now instead.
Oven.
Yeah. And put rice Krispies in it or something. I don't know.
She's basically gonna starve to death,
Of course.
or have dick of the marshmallow fluffy.
Well, it's one of those. It's the fact that she said she likes frozen lasagnas anyway, so she obviously needs that microwave.
Yeah, exactly.
now-
So where's she going to have that, yeah?
She's gonna have to get a new microwave every time she puts a
Yeah.
rabbit in a.
She'd have to just keep ordering microwaves all the
that.
time.
Either way, what I'm learning from these unhinged books is that there are some very unhinged people out there
Yeah.
that can write these things.
And people should not be allowed their sweets.
No.
Sweets are for
Balloons.
eating.
Balloons.
Fucking-
Funnel cake. Funnel cake.
They're for
Yes.
eating, or balloons. They're for enjoyment.
Not
Oh, I
putting,
fucking enjoyed them, didn't
not putting in your vagina.
I think
That's all I've got.
that's enough about Squeak.
it's ingrained. No, it won't leave.
All I can see is 6 foot fucking rabbits.
Yeah.
Well, they're even taller if you take the ears into account. It was 6
Okay.
foot before the ears.
Shit.
I know. So yeah, that was our unhinged book of the week. It was an experience. I will never, ever, ever eat marshmallow bunny the same again. I don't think I ever will.
All I see is fucking Mr. Softy out of Ghostbusters.
So now we've got 3 things that we all want to avoid.
Teddy bears.
Bears, balloon
Balloons.
animals,
Marshmallows.
marshmallows.
I think we need to stop doing this segment while we're ahead, otherwise we're never going to want anything.
Nah, it's too much fun.
Can't wait for the next one.
Oh, God. Okay, so to wrap up this week's chapter, we have book releases from the 5th to the 11th of May. So we only have one because, again, finding it difficult to
Yeah.
find book releases. Because like all your very popular authors, you tend to find like lots of information about specific ones throughout the year. So I only managed to find one, and that is This Summer Will Be Different by Carly Fortune, which is released on the 7th of May.
Oh.
I think that's the second one to. Is it this Something at the Lake?
I've not read them.
I've not.
I've read it. It was good.
It's a
Oh.
little bit.
It was fluffy.
Yeah, it's
Nice.
Your street.
Yeah.
Sounds nice.
There's no masks on that.
No.
I think that it's the book where there was, and I mean, my memory, as we all know, is not the greatest.
Getting better.
So it is getting better. But I think the first one of this is the book where it's an exact copy of Christina Lauren's book, and there was like a bit of drama around it when it first came out. I
Oh,
think this is the second one.
Fun.
But that's literally the only book I could find.
that's fair enough.
So,
If you
if
want to
you
read it,
are-
it's there.
yeah, if you are an indie author, or anyone, any reader that knows of any upcoming book releases, please let us know.
Yeah, just ping us a message. We'll always reply.
Yep. So that is the end of today's chapter.
That was
Job
chapter
well done.
3.
Chapter 3, all done and dusted. Cut. Endo. Oh no, hang on, wait a minute. We've missed the most important part.
What?
Please like and subscribe.
Yeah, like, follow, and subscribe on all of our social media channels. We are on YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok.
And Spotify.
And Spotify.
Alright,
yeah.
this is my new game now.
Yeah.
I wait for you
Wait
to
until I
say,
miss one.
and then I'm
Yeah.
like,
And
and
this
this
one.
one. Because we have so many, we can't keep track.
But we are absolutely loving the community that we've gained so far. We can't wait to meet more people and just sit, have a natter, have a laugh with you in the comments. We love you all.
The bigger you can help us get, the more likely we are to be able to have authors feature on the podcast, which is a dream of ours, and will hopefully make the content that we're able to provide you even better. So your support means the world.
Yes.
Slay.
And that's
Slay all day.
That's
now the end of chapter 3. We will see you next week.
Yes.
Peace out.